Hello everyone. Today we're diving into a hilarious story about the meeting of hope and awkwardness. The surrounding noise resembled a party, as if his future sought a dance partner. He was lost as if he had lost his GPS, but life is twists. Suddenly, the announcement came for me. A seasoned reporter would interview the Prime Minister. Muller's mind suddenly sparked an idea because that reporter had once been caught with overweight luggage. With his first-class ticket, he cleverly got the food through security, and just like that, they became fast friends. This sparked a true food friendship, prompting Muller to ask Vomi to join him for the Prime Minister interview. Vomi was thrilled. Who could resist the lure of an exclusive scoop? So he decided to let Muller masquerade as his sound guy, thinking this would be a breeze. But they underestimated the security strength of the Prime Minister's office, and without credentials, Muller was quickly deemed suspicious. In a panic, he shouted at the PM, voice booming like an audition, "I will protect you. Nobody's stealing your limelight while I'm around." Suddenly, the needs of the people caught the Prime Minister's attention. Travelling in India was a real hassle. Existing railways can't meet public travel needs. Low-cost airlines seemed the solution. But the Prime Minister was puzzled. Why was this small-town guy so bent on starting an airline? At this point, Muller spilled his guts. His village didn't even have a stop, making travel feel like flying through the air. So his father started sending letters to the government, almost like he was writing to a deity. 20 years went by with no replies. The village's hopes floated away like balloons. So Muller decided to lead the villagers in protest, hoping to enlighten the railway department. But this was totally against her father's talk-it-out approach, leading to a clash. Their relationship was officially torn apart, and Muller stormed away from home. It wasn't until a day 3 years later, when she officially served in the Air Force, that she gradually began to cool down her anger, and at the same time, her father shared a similar sentiment. Even though he pretended not to care about her letters, he would still eavesdrop whenever his mother read them. Later, a teacher in the military remarked that she was a wonderful daughter, warming his heart. Time flew by, and finally, the moment came when he could call his father. Unfortunately, just as he was about to speak, the signal cut out, a classic comedy moment. All her thoughts turned to static, and she felt as anxious as a cat on a hot tin roof. She tried to redial, but the officer stopped her, and just like that, another chance to talk slipped away. A few days later, she received an urgent call from her mother. News of her father's illness hit her like a bolt from the blue. His final wish was to see his long-lost son, and it broke her heart, but her brothers quickly banded together to raise funds. She rushed to the ticket office only to find that the economy tickets were sold out, and the only ones left were luxury business class. To scrape together enough cash, she started begging passers-by for money, but all she got was a wall of indifference. Desperate, she went to the boarding gate, explaining her father's condition and even kneeling. Even offering her military uniform as collateral didn't move anyone, and she ended up getting kicked out. She instead opted for a motorcycle taxi, traversing the bumpy road to see her father, with a complex array of emotions and a whirlwind of thoughts swirling in her mind. As she raced through the tumult, memories of her father flashed through her mind, nostalgic yet heart-wrenching. Finally, when Muller appeared at the doorstep in uniform, her father's face lit up with joy. But just as joy struck, her father reached out, only for her to disappear into the background. It turned out this reunion was merely a dream before her father's passing. Heartbreaking. Muller struggled home only to find her father cremated, the room full of mourners. Her mother tried hard to fulfill her father's wishes. As his presence slowly faded away, the memories left behind were like imprints, starkly revealing the fragility and unpredictability of life. Muller was filled with regret and remorse, wishing she had seen her father's face one last time. This only fueled her determination to ensure that everyone could afford to fly, fulfilling dreams. The Prime Minister, moved by her words, decided to personally order Muller to open her airline. "I'll get you what you need. Your airline license is coming right up." This time, the director didn't drag his feet. He quickly processed the license and also introduced her to the airport manager. Mola's dream of a budget airline was finally taking off, revealing limitless possibilities. Excited, she took her investors on a tour of the future airport, eagerly anticipating a whole new aviation era. But suddenly, the friend handling the plane transfer brought her a disastrous piece of news. The American company cancelled the deal because the Civil Aviation Administration wanted the plane's design blueprints, which were trade secrets. As a result, the planes were stuck without a purpose. It was utterly ridiculous. If you enjoyed this funny story, don't forget to hit subscribe and share more exciting content with us.